living in the valley. Relationships, current events, dream interpretations. We cover them and many more. There's so much in store. If you want to know everything happening in the valley, all we do is talk about every day living in the valley. Tune in, tune in to every day living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day living in the valley. Tune in to every day living in the valley.
Welcome to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Jess Alex.
And I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished. Relationships, current events, dream interpretations. We cover this and so much more here in the Valley. If you want more information on what's happening in the Valley, visit our website, truevibes.net. That's true, T-R-U, the word vibes.net.
If you like the content that we are producing, feel free to like our Facebook page, Everyday Living in the Valley. And we would like to remind you of your chance to enter our Valley giveaway. Details on that coming up. Let's talk about what is one of the hardest things that you have had to overcome.
Right.
I think, I guess for me, it's just really the fear of the unknown and just knowing that I can just succeed.
Right.
The fear of failure. And then, there are different definitions of failure.
Yeah.
So even though you have like a lot of things going on with you, sometimes it makes it very hard to overcome some obstacles that you have in your life. But you know what? I am here to say today that anything that you set your mind to, you can achieve it.
That's true. And I guess for me, getting out of my own headspace, that's never ending battle for me, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? It's kind of hard to tell people some of the things that you had to overcome because you have that fear of judgment, right? You don't want no one to be like, oh, that's next. Because, you got some people. Now, listen.
Tick for tick, tap for
to
tap.
the older generation, let's not downplay things that other people, like, it may have been easy for you, but that does not mean that, just because it was easy for you, that it should be easy for the next person.
Right.
So let's not downplay anyone saying that it took them, like, for instance, if I had to give over the fear of, let's just say flying, right?
Right.
Which that's not a fear of mine, but if I be like, you know what, I had to overcome that, I was actually able to, and it's like flying, oh, that ain't
nothing.
I hate that. I hate when people do that because that's very hard for some people. So let's not downplay others.
Right.
What may be easy for you is not easy for the next person, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think another one of mine is public speaking.
Ooh,
I know that's a fear a lot of people, right?
It is. But for me, I think I just like to run my mouth.
You love to talk. So
I do.
You relish in it.
I am
moment.
like a storyteller.
Yes, you be ready.
I am a storyteller, y'all.
Listen, she be telling those stories.
I do. But this is the thing, though. Now, I do hate that tit for tat, what you were saying earlier. Like I had to do this. And then it's like, well, I had to do, like.
My trauma is greater than yours.
Like my struggle is way greater than what your struggle is. There's no competition.
Yeah, there's no competition.
On struggle. Listen, a struggle is a struggle.
Right.
That's just it. There's no bigger struggle, no little struggle. A struggle.
Don't go tick for tat for my struggle.
No, I hate that.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's just like saying, even though this is not, this is something. So, right? A sin is a sin, right? So there's no such thing as a little sin. Like, I did this, but you did this. And it's just like, a sin is a sin.
Right.
Regardless. I may have murdered someone. I have not never, but I may have murdered someone and you may have just told a lie. So just because I murdered someone don't mean that my sin is greater than your sin. A sin is a sin.
You know what we should have asked the people? Like, not only what was your greatest thing that you had to get over or whatever.
Right.
But what steps did it take you to get to that moment?
Ooh. Now, I did ask someone that, and they was like, it just made them think. They never did respond back and say how they was able to overcome it because maybe they're still trying to overcome
That's
that.
True. That's true.
Maybe we have not mastered don't get me wrong. There's some things that you're able to overcome and there's some things that's going to take some time. It may take some years. That's okay too. That's all right. Don't be hard on yourself because it's taking you a long time to overcome some things because, a struggle is a struggle.
That's right. I completely agree with you. And the whole thing with me, the mindset and fear of failure.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Fear of getting it wrong.
Absolutely.
And it just keep you just complacent.
Absolutely.
Keep you in a state of not wanting to progress.
I agree.
Not wanting to, go to the next level in life.
Well, it's just like this. Listen, it's okay to struggle, but I want you to know now, don't sit in it.
Right, yes.
Sitting in it is where the problem comes in.
Right.
Like, that's where the depression, the anxiety, the panic, all that comes in. So it's okay to, like when we go through things, it's very hard.
It's okay to put yourself on pause for a little bit.
Ooh.
But
I actually had to pause. What did I do when I called you the other day?
I need to reevaluate.
I said,
reassess for something.
I need to reset.
Yeah, reset.
I need to reset.
But you had to find a way of unpausing yourself.
Yeah.
And unpausing your situation.
Absolutely.
To get to where you need to get to in life.
I agree. 100%.
This is your Valley Giveaway. This portion of the program is brought to you by Bodega 1205. We present to you our second Valley giveaway. So just Alex, what are we doing this time?
All right, y'all. We are raffling off a $100 Visa gift card. That is right. You heard me correct. $100 Visa gift card. And these are the details to qualify. We need you to like and follow Everyday Living in the Valley Facebook page, Instagram page, or TikTok. So, you know what? If you're on all three platforms, go ahead. Just like and follow.
Just go ahead and do it, y'all.
All three of them.
Yes.
We would appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
You know what? Invite 10 people to our page, and we want you to enter one of the secret words that are broadcasted throughout the episode, starting with episode 5.
Right, y'all.
Understand that. Not 1 through 4, but 5. Right? We want you to go to truevibes.net and click on Inner Valley Giveaway. Now, we all have some epic stories when involving people that we work with, right, Mr. Distinguished?
This is correct. So this next story I want to tell you is when I was working in corporate America, and it's involving one of my bosses at the time.
Absolutely.
Of course, I've always had some characters when it came to bosses.
Absolutely.
Working in corporate America, guys. Mm-hmm. So here's my story, and I'm ready to tell it.
Okay, we ready for it.
So I was working at this job where I was a developer, a web programmer.
Okay.
Develop software. And so we have multiple assets to our department. I'm working in the IT department. So we had people who was working in design, people who was working on e-commerce solutions. And you had me and this other guy who was doing mainly back-end development.
Right.
And so our boss at the time thought it would be a great idea if he would have it arranged that somebody would call us every 15 minutes asking us what we were doing.
Say what?
Yeah, asking us what we're doing every 15 minutes so they could record it in the spreadsheet. And so, of course, this got old really, really fast.
Ooh.
I remember day one. At first we were just kind of humoring it. Oh, I'm da-da-da-da-da at ABC 1, 2, 3 or whatever. So it got ineffective because people were just pissed off.
Oh, it's old.
It's old.
Let's go.
Day 3. We haven't even made it through the first week.
Goodbye, sir.
And we were all over it. We was tired of this temp that kept calling us, asking us about what we're doing. So we just kept giving him the same answer. So this whole thing was ineffective.
Yeah.
Because
it was dumb and stupid.
Or if you so happen to miss your call or whatever that day, the next time he calls you, the next 15 minutes around, he would ask you, oh, what were you doing at the time?
Oh, no.
Where, I called you and you missed that call.
Trash.
So, yeah. So it was a crazy time because morale was already not where it needed to be at. And this wasn't a very effective way of utilizing our time, utilizing the temp time who had to call us every 15 minutes. We all hated him, but we know it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
It was his fault, but we hated him.
I can't.
because we were all like in the same room, like a big room.
That's aggravating.
And you could just hear.
Because y'all was in cubicles, right?
Yeah, we was in cubicles.
Oh, trash.
So you could hear the phone ringing. You know,
Oh,
the
no.
next person, all right, he's about to call me next or whatever. Here go me. I'm just about to tell him I'm reading a book. You know.
Dead.
So I don't know. It was very ineffective, and that wasn't the best way to utilize. Don't listen.
Well, actually, that's taken away from doing your job.
And especially for something like development or whatever, you try to get into a space, right? You trying to
And
get
you're working.
You working, and so you breaking that concentration every time you call me.
And then I got to get back into the rhythm.
I got to get back into the rhythm, figure out what I was doing and stuff like that. So it just wasn't.
It sounded like trash.
It was trash. It was definitely
that's what it sounded
trash.
like.
But we definitely want to hear your coworker chronicles, whatever that might be.
Yes.
And let me tell you how you can do that.
How? How do we do that?
Well, go to our website, truevibes.net. That's true as in TRU, the word vibes.net. Click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley. Fill out the form and select Coworker Chronicles.
Ooh.
Coming up after the break, catch us today's Valley's tip.
Let's talk about Shana and Jussie.
Living in the valley.
Family, culture, community. Do you have a taste for some Latin American cuisine or want to try something new? Well, add Bodega 1205 to your bucket list, where you can expect some freshly squeezed juices, some epic empanadas, and the most perfect pernil that's just like your Puerto Rican grandma's. Remember, guys, Bodega is not just food, it's an experience. And I personally go there at least 2 times a week for the experience. 19 12th Street, Columbus, Georgia, 31901. Family, culture, community. Bodega. Visit their website at bodega1205.com or give them a call at 706-221-3514. Your Valley giveaway secret word is overcome. That's overcome. Again, that's overcome.
Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley.
Welcome back to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished.
And I'm your host, Jess Alex. Relationships, current events, dream interpretation. We cover them, and there is so much more. If you want more information on what's happening in the Valley, visit truevibes.net. Opportunities for advertisement, visit our website for details. Truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, wordvibes.net. Mr. Distinguished, remember that time when you tried to call out of work at 8:30 p.m.?
Yeah, guys. 8:30 p.m., guys. So let me tell you about my life at this point in time.
Please tell us.
So I was still working at this same job.
Okay.
Had the same boss. And so he writes down everything, right? So he's always going back to reviewing his notes and things of that nature. So I had got off of work this day. Let's just say it was a Wednesday, right?
Okay.
So I had went home and took a nap. I had went home, I took a nap, and that nap was so refreshing that I got up around 8:27 that evening, and I thought it was morning already.
What?
Yes. And so, but it was refreshing, but it was like, you know what? I feel like I didn't get enough rest at the same time. I don't know. It was
You
real,
just over it. You
I was
already
over
knew you
it.
wanted to be out.
I was like, oh my God, it's 8:30. I'm already late in my mind. So I go around in my laundry baskets. I looked in about 2 baskets. It was like, all right, that's it. There's no recovering this day. I can't get this day back. Let me just go ahead and call it. So I get on the phone and I call my boss at the time.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of confusion that was happening in this moment. Here you
What
go.
happened?
So here go me. Hey Rick. He was like, hey George. I was like, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not gonna be able to make it in today. And he was like, make it into where today? Here go me, make it into work, of course, And there was just this long pause after this. I would never forget this
He probably thought you was high or something.
awkward pause. And he was like, oh, okay. So where are you right now? Here go me. I'm at the house. Here go me in my head, duh.
Dead.
Where you want me to be? I'm at the house.
Dead.
Or whatever. And then he was like, oh, okay. Then he asked me, what time do you think it is? That's what he asked me next. And then I was like, oh, it's 8:27.
Dead.
And here he go. In the evening. You, my friend, went home and took a nap. But I tell you what.
What happened?
He was like, give me a call in the morning and let me know how you feel.
So here go the question: did you make it in the next day?
I did. I mean, I felt stupid
Of course.
for calling out at 8:27 in the evening.
PM.
Yes. And so I was like, I definitely had to go with the next day.
Gotta save face.
Gotta save face. I told one of my other coworkers what happened, and he thought this was the most funniest
Because
thing
it is.
in the world.
It's hilarious.
He drew we had a dry erase board in our department, and he drew a caricature of me.
I would have too.
My hands waving
Yeah.
in the air, like, oh my God, 8:27. He put that like in a bubble, in the text
Listen,
bubble.
hilarious. Hilarious.
So that was my Remember That Time segment.
Ooh.
Right. So, guys, we do have a new advice segment.
Yes. Come through.
Yes, it's college for you.
Ooh. You know something? What I'm realizing is the value of a degree does not hold weight anymore.
And I guess especially like in my field, I think back in the day,
It did.
An IT degree.
I think degrees back in the day
Would-
held enough.
Do you think it depreciated, the value of a degree depreciated over the
Absolutely, because
years?
everybody getting one now.
Everybody's getting one, and I don't know. It's just not the merit of having a degree.
It doesn't equate to you. Okay, so if you go and you get, let's say, a bachelor's degree, right?
Right.
And you come out of college and they want to offer you, especially here in Columbus, 30, 40,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Degree about 50,000.
Right.
So, okay, you already in the negative.
That's very interesting because I guess the generation before us, it was always pushed to go get a degree,
Yes.
then go.
That's
work,
where the money was
go
at.
work for corporate America.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now we're finding out, I guess in hindsight, now where we at, that maybe so the value of the degree is not what it used to be.
It's not at all. I have a master's degree, and as a matter of fact, Mr. Distinguished can tell you, I have a master's degree, and at one point they only wanted to pay me $35,000
Right.
a year.
Come on, guys.
What we doing?
Like
Here go the student loan debt, 100,000 plus.
100,000 plus. So
What we
is it-
doing?
Is it even worth it? I guess it all depends, of course, on what field you're going in.
Well, you have to let's look at some of the lowest costing, the fields that pay you the least. Anything dealing with social services.
Right.
Teaching, I'm sorry. Listen, teachers, my hats are off to y'all. I can't do it. Y'all don't make no money.
Right.
Is nothing. And then you look at, but here we go, athletes and actors and actresses, anybody in entertainment business.
Entertainment, yeah.
Once you make it, you can make millions.
Right.
But I mean, why we're not paying the people who are doing like the hard work, the people who are really just, in this society trying to make things a little bit better for others. Even with police officers, they don't make nothing.
Right.
It's a shame.
It's just, I don't know. It's just the way this country, I don't know if it's a country thing or is it a world thing.
I think some countries may pay a little bit more. Well, look at it. If I'm not mistaken, Germany has free health insurance.
That's true.
United States is all about money, baby.
It's all about entertainment too, I guess.
It is. It is. Listen, we are our values and views is just all messed up.
Moral compass.
It's all messed up. We really are. It's crazy how things are now and how it was back in the day.
Right. So, and I guess we have some advice on some ways to save money.
You know what? This is what I know, and I know this is a tough topic because we were never taught financial literacy. That's a huge, huge thing, ways that you can save money. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand because I was one of them people too. You live paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You have to really balance your money out and see how, because the cost of living has went up, but wages have not increased.
Right.
So what I would advise to do is, and it can be done, you have to not eat out with these fast food restaurants. One, they giving you crap service anyway.
Right. But are you finding, because somebody said that eating out is about the same as
just
eating
about
at home.
Absolutely. Now, I have a family of 5. It's 5 of us. And my goodness, sometimes we go out to eat. It can be close to about $100 for all of us.
Okay.
But even when I go to the store and try to just buy something, just preparing a meal, that can still run us about $50, $60 for one day.
Yeah. Then you had to clean the kitchen.
Then you got to clean up and you got to do all that. Who want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't, especially when I get off work. So yeah, and it's very hard to save, but try to at least every check, I would try to do $50 to the side and let that total up. By the end of the year, you can have about a $2,000 to $3,000 savings. You can do it.
You can do
it. It is hard, but you can do it. It has been done.
Right.
And that is our advice segment for this episode.
And we do have a value tip for you in this episode as well, too. And I think it would be some good advice for you to know if you're driving in the car and you just, veer off the road and your car just go into the river. Then we have some advice of what you can do to, not drown.
Absolutely. This is something crazy because we seen this on Facebook, and this actually came from a police officer. And I think this is some really, really, really valuable information because I didn't even know this.
Me neither.
So a lot of people drown simply because they just didn't know. If you find yourself underwater in their car, number one, what they say is don't panic. But of course, we going to panic because what in the world?
Yes.
First thing is don't waste your energy trying to push the door open. Now, yeah, because we see this in movies. Now, you see people for some reason they get the door open.
Yeah.
In the movie.
How with all that pressure?
Yeah, it's the pressure. So just don't even try to waste your breath trying to do that. And also, do not open the window. The force of the water entering the car will not allow you to get out.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
When you think about it. Number 3, this is one of the most important ones. Take out the head restraint. That means pulling it up and just lifting it all the way out. We've seen that, and it has like the little pointy ends.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to use the steel sharp tip and break the back window that has the kick out glass on it. Now, even I didn't even know the back window has a kick out glass on it.
Right.
So the car, by engineering and design, is intended to float in the water, and the rear window will always be facing the exit. And I used to think, when the car is going down, why is it that the back part is always sticking up? I never thought about that is the way that it was engineered.
Right.
Because that's the way you're supposed to get out.
Oh, I wonder if my truck has that headrest or whatever. I guess you
Please check that out.
you should, whatever your making car is, check out what, I'm sure they have some type of emergency plan when it comes to that for your making car. So just go look that up. Right?
Yes, most definitely. That is some valuable information. So that is a tip that we have for you this episode.
After the break, guys, let's continue with Shana's love adventure with her new boo, Jussie.
You ever had a job not tell you like what your pay is until after starting? Let me tell you a time they had me messed up.
Living in the valley.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Bodega 1205. Give them a try today.
Living in the valley.
Family, culture, community. Do you have a taste for some Latin American cuisine or want to try something new? Well, add Bodega 1205 to your bucket list, where you can expect some freshly squeezed juices, some epic empanadas, and the most perfect pernil that's just like your Puerto Rican grandma's. Remember, guys, Bodega is not just food, it's an experience. And I personally go there at least 2 times a week for the experience. 19 12th Street, Columbus, Georgia, 31901. Family, culture, community. Bodega. Visit their website at bodega1205.com or give them a call at 706-221-3514. Your Valley giveaway secret word is prosper. That's prosper. Again, that's prosper.
Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley.
Welcome back to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Jess Alex.
And I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished. Relationships, current events, dream interpretations. We cover them and so much more here in the Valley. If you would like some relationship advice, or if you have a dream that you would like for us to interpret, then go to our website, truevibes.net. That's TRU, the word vibes.net. And click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley.
Let me tell you about this time that this job working for the school had me messed up.
I just know you lying to me.
Ooh, child, they got me messed up.
She really did try it.
They got me messed up.
She really said that?
Ooh, child, I just tell you, these folks just really got me messed up.
Let me tell you about this time that this job had me messed up.
Go ahead, let us know.
Now, this was in between a time where I was like, you know what? I can work for the school system.
Right.
And I was like, going in at 7, getting off at 2:30. Who can beat that time?
Right.
This is like, and then being out when the kids out, I thought I had it made.
You had the master plan again.
I did, y'all. And this is like right before I got my master's degree. So I had my bachelor's.
Right.
And so the principal interviewed me, and I was just like, okay, like this will be good. I'm thinking, because I looked at the website and it was telling me the job pays like, I don't know, $12 and something.
Right.
Which is still pretty low for a bachelor's degree. But again, I'm looking at the plus side of the hours and
Right.
everything else. So
Yeah.
I'm cool.
The other amenities.
Yeah, so I didn't sign any paperwork saying what the pay was gonna be, because I'm thinking it's gonna be this $12.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go ahead and start, and then they was like, well, we're gonna put you in the pre-K class, and you're gonna be like a parapro. Now, mind you, I was thinking like being a parapro is not bad. I'm like, okay, still the $12.
Here go me in the back of my head. You don't even like kids.
I don't. And when I seen that lead teacher, and it was another parapro in there, and I'm like, wait a minute. So we got 2 parapros and a lead teacher in this classroom. This class got to be off the chain. Y'all, that class was off the chain. Them kids were like rough for some 4-year-olds, and here go me. This ain't me. I knew.
You had that revelation.
I already knew I wasn't going to. I was telling myself, you can last until the school year.
Dead.
It didn't work. So it didn't work out that way. So the lady called me like 3 days into the job. I started on the Monday, okay, Wednesday. They called me to come down to the Board of Education and fill out the paperwork, okay? So I was like, okay, I can come down there and fill out the paperwork. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. That lady came, okay, she called me in the office and stuff, and she was like, you're paid monthly. And I said, yeah, okay, and so I didn't know starting in October, because I didn't start in August when school started, they prorate, okay, that money. So it was not like $12 and some hour, because they go ahead and stretch it out for the whole year. Okay, 12 months. But because I didn't start when everybody else started, it was like my salary was like $10,000 a year.
Ooh, child. What was you supposed to do?
Listen, when I tell you, I felt some type of way. And when she broke that down, now she get to break down the 10,000. Now you got to spread that out. And then she was like, they take out the insurance, they do the teacher retirement.
Yep.
Y'all, the check, I'm going to tell you how much the check would have been. Like $530-something a month. Here go me. Well, what is this? Just gas? Like,
pretty much.
What am I supposed
get there and come back to the house?
Listen. I still had Destiny in high school.
Right.
Cam.
And just a life.
I got kids and a husband.
You had other things to do to just drive up there and come back to the house.
I said, what? And then, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, not only with the pay, because the pay was where they had me messed up. It was the older parapros that were trying to figure out why was I working this job with a bachelor's degree? Why wasn't I a lead teacher? And they was like, and you left a job making how much? Y'all, the job that I left for this particular job, I was making $27,000 a year. So you trying to tell me I went from $27,000 to $10,000?
Yes, that's what you did.
And when I told that lady, let me tell you something. These older women, they don't care. She was just like, baby,
that ain't it.
Baby, no. She looked at me like I was a fool. I really felt like a fool. And I'm talking about, listen, they really had me messed up. So Mr. Distinct will tell you, by Friday, baby, I was done.
Listen, it
didn't even last.
Is this the same one that called you a couple of months later?
Yes, called me like 2 months later and was like, hey, are you coming to orientation? I said, ma'am, I don't work there no more. I said, ma'am, I'm no longer employed there. She was like, oh, they didn't tell me. Nobody told me. Well, I'm telling you, I'm no longer working there, ma'am.
I am dead.
Yep. And that is how they had me messed up.
Don't tell me they didn't take you out the system.
Listen, just thought I was still there. I didn't get no other check. Wait a minute, did I get one more check? I did get another check. I did get they did. They paid me another check. I did not return it. They did pay me. I had to file it on my taxes though.
Oh, so it still counted.
Oh yeah, it still count now. It still counted. Now they did tell me, they asked me to pay it back. No, no, ma'am. I'm gonna keep this $500.
Thank you so much
for the headache that y'all gave me.
Yes, for the gas for this other
$500.
Yes.
That is how they had me messed up, y'all. So coming up, we do have the traveling tips.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. If you ever use like the Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, Zelle, any type of stuff, listen, there are ways that you can purchase flights or trips. You can actually pay on it. It's like a pay in four. If you do Affirm, well, if you do Klarna and Afterpay, you can do like every 2 weeks to the I think it's like 4 payments. Now Affirm will let you actually stretch it out to where you can pay over 12 months, you can pay over 24 months. So these are some ways that you can actually use it. You just go on there, you type in like the last 4 of your social or something, and they ask you for your phone number, and they'll just say, okay, yeah, you approve, you can go ahead and get this. I use Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay all the time, y'all. I don't just use it for trips. Nah, I use it for everything. Everything. I have a balance now with Affirm. I think I got something with Klarna, but I don't think I got nothing with Afterpay right now. But hey, this is some ways that you can actually save. They do not, some of them charge interest sometimes, but for the most part, they don't. You go ahead and pay it. You can pay it in advance and be done with it. But this is a way that you can save. You can travel, do what you need to do. So go ahead and use those, y'all. Say your girl sent you.
Okay, look at you.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, here we go. It's story time.
Let's go.
And we got Shana again, if y'all don't remember her then y'all can go back to our last 2 episodes where we have the Shana and Steve story available
Absolutely.
for you all.
Let's go.
So, in the last episode, we did Shana and Steve's epic no love story.
Yes.
Well, we have another one for you guys.
What we got?
Well, before we get into that, we just want to go ahead and let you know that the story we're about to tell you is true.
Mm-hmm.
These are facts, guys.
Go ahead.
Names have been changed to protect the people that are involved. And we also want to let you know that Shana gave us explicit permission to tell this story as well, too.
And did.
So thank you so much, Shana, for allowing us into your life. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
And so we're on Facebook Live now, guys.
We are.
Yes.
Hello,
guys.
Facebook.
Hey, Facebook family.
Come through.
Come on through so we can get this story to y'all.
Yeah, so Shana and Jussie.
Yes. So remember Shana and Steve. Shana was in a relationship with a narcissist.
And was.
And we believe Steve was married, had another existing relationship.
Absolutely.
And he was just taking Shana on down the road.
And was.
And so just Alex and myself had to, break it down for Shana.
We did.
And she finally, guys, she moved on.
And did.
And now we got Jussie.
Yes, we do. So, like, me and Mr. Distinguished always asking Shana, like, hey, how's everything going? Have you found somebody new? Hello, thank you for tuning in. And she was like, oh, yeah, I met this guy. Like, we talk every day.
Right.
And, he's a pastor's son. And so me and Mr. Distinguished was like, oh, okay, just kind of asking her questions about, Jussie and seeing what Jussie was about. And she was just like, he's good. Everything is good. And, everything is going great. And, everything is fine. And I was like, is it though? Is it? Because it was always everything is good. Everything is wonderful.
It was like, so Shana, how are you? We're good.
We're good.
Jussie.
We're good. Everything is good. Everything is wonderful. And so I'm like, is it though? Mm-hmm. So, let's fast forward and we get to Shana had like a thing over her house, right?
Right.
And this was our first time meeting her
Jussie
and
some other people as well too.
Yeah, meeting Jussie and Jussie friend and the friend and his friend wife. So, wait, before we even got there, we actually looked him up on Instagram. And the first thing we said is he gay. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying because you're in a fraternity that you're gay. That does not mean that. But it just looked suspect when we seen it. It just did. So we were just like, okay, well, let's see what's what. Let's go ahead. When she had her thing, she was like, she wanted to actually, she wanted to have something over her house so that we can all just kind of, hey y'all, so we can all just kind of, just put it over there with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we can all just meet him. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. We finna meet him. We finna see what's what.
Guys, we thought we were about to eat too.
We did. Listen, we were ready. We was hungry. And we was hungry. So we get there and the first thing we see is one, they do grill something. Well, we thought it was gonna be on a grill.
Yeah, we thought we was gonna see some charcoal.
But it was on a griddle.
Yeah.
It was on a little.
Y'all remember when George Foreman was advertising the grills? It was like one of those.
It was one of those. And so we was like, hey, how are you doing, Jussie? And this is what he said. I want you to understand now. This is what he said. Fine. Say what now? That's so here go me. Well, maybe Mr. Distinguished got it. Because I didn't get it.
Nah, I did not.
I just assumed he had got all of what Jussie had said because I didn't get it. I didn't hear. All I heard was fine. And I said, can't be.
Well, for the guys that's on TikTok just joining us,
Hey, TikTok.
we want to say, hey,
Hi.
everyday living in the valley.
Let's
We're
go.
here. We're live.
We are.
Yes, come on in. It's story time.
Yes,
We just
it
wanted to
is.
invite you to a story of
Hello,
Shana
hello.
and Jussie
Absolutely.
this week. So we did do Shana and Steve the week prior,
We did.
where they were in this epic no love story.
Absolutely.
So this week, Shana has a new boo, and it's Jussie.
It's Jussie.
And we wanted just to catch you up on what's going on. So we just wanted to say thank y'all for joining us. We really do appreciate the support.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
come
yes.
in and listen to this story, guys.
So, as we proceed on, Jussie had a friend. Let's call him Bob. Okay?
Yeah.
Bob was very, very dominating.
Very, extremely
I
dominating.
mean, like, we couldn't even really talk to Jussie because Bob was in the conversation.
Right.
Bob was just
He was like interceding every time.
yeah, it was like, so Jussie, what is that you do? And again, Bob would just take over and be like, oh, he working it. He work up here.
Yeah.
What? Sir, did we say Bob?
We was trying to get Jussie to say
I mean,
this, but
Bob,
thank you.
we trying to see what Jussie, this is how Jussie talked. This is how Jussie was talking. And then you got the end, like,
yeah, the end.
work.
You got the beginning and you got the end, but the middle, you just,
you
didn't
had
get
to
it.
just figure out,
you
like,
had to-
what is it that he's saying?
Yeah, so just Alex was like, oh, maybe Mr. Distinguished.
And that's all I was thinking.
I was like, nah,
I
I ain't
said,
catch it
Mr.
either.
Distinguished
Nope.
got it because I got
I got
absolutely
exactly the same amount of information she got.
I
y'all.
got nothing. So when we got done with that, let me go back. They were actually questioning me and Mr. Distinguished as
Right.
if we had a relationship.
So we think.
Why are we so close?
Yeah, so we're thinking Shana has already had a
Absolutely.
conversation.
And she was just like, they're very close. And, it is awkward. I know you, Shana, and I
Yeah.
know you did this.
You know you did it, Shana.
So it's just like, they're close and it was awkward. I think they got something going on, even though we don't, never have.
Nope.
Never. So I was just like, when we got done, and here go me, hey, Mr. Distinguished, did you understand what Jussie was saying? He go, nah, I thought you got it. And we both don't even know what the guy said.
Well, I mean, it was Bob really took over the show.
He did.
He took
And
over not only the conversations,
but
the
you
games.
remember Shana was trying to say, like, oh no, Bob wife.
Yeah.
It's the one
yeah.
Bob wife is like the narcissist. And she just, and we were like,
I don't know how she got that.
I don't know
Shana.
how you
I
got
have no
that.
idea how you get that
because
information.
we didn't
'cause
see that. What we seen was
Bob will allow anything.
Bob was
Shoot.
taking over the whole conversation.
Everything.
We couldn't say not 2 words. It was just like, and we were like, okay, so is she in a relationship with Bob or is she with Jussie?
It's a whole nother story because they were giving us like relationship advice.
Listen,
Eh.
it was remember they asked me, well, how is it that you're supposed to be when you're married? Bob wife. And I'm like, you're supposed to be able to, I say you're not just communicating, but you're supposed to be able to listen and comprehend
Yes.
what you in it. And so Bob wife was like, you see that, Bob? And you remember
Yeah.
she said the only requirement. Okay, so Bob wife said the only requirement that she had was
Only prerequisite.
that
guys.
he had a bachelor's degree.
That was it, guys.
Not that if he don't cheat on me, not if, he's going to be like a provider.
None of that.
She just said he just needed to have a bachelor's degree.
That's it.
And so, of course, me and Mr. Distinguished was like, oh, that ain't good.
What about the love?
I mean, there no love. You just got to have a degree.
That's also.
And so she assisted him with him getting his bachelor's degree.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing.
Another
We got
story.
another story.
We got something for y'all.
We
guys.
do. We got something for y'all with that. So
But, yeah, so Jussie.
Jussie.
But also, I think this would be an appropriate time. We received an anonymous question, remember, in regards to what do you do if you feel like your man is gay or whatever.
yeah. So yeah. What do you think?
Listen to your intuition, I guess. I think
I'm gonna most definitely say
that's
when that, like them spidey senses.
yeah.
When you get this feeling, and this is what I tell my children: don't disregard the feeling that you get. Listen, if believe people for who they are. When somebody show you who they are, believe it the first time. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I went all around the world to say that.
Yeah, you
but,
did, but it's okay.
but
no. We're not saying anything against, gay or anything.
Oh no.
But what we're saying is
not at all.
No, not at all. But what we're saying is this person for you? Do they have
absolutely?
Do they have enough emotional and intimacy or whatever?
Well, let's go ahead and break down Jussie.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. Okay. So Jussie, we did not realize, well, we seen little stuff, but this is how, after 2 years of dating, Jussie, this is how he actually, and you know how you end the conversation when you finally, not even ending the conversation, but if you're dating someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're dating them for a year. I'm going to say 6 months. You already know if you really want to be with this person. Right. You know if this person is for you. Right. You just kind of know. You know what's what. Jussie always ended everything with peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay? Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with saying peace and love. But listen here. If you cannot tell me that you love me or you don't see us progressing of moving forward, then you need to let me go.
So, what about the little trips and stuff?
So he would constantly invite Shana to Atlanta, which is where he was at. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he would get hotel rooms for her, pay for the hotel room, whining as if a man would do for a woman.
And I guess from Shayna's perspective, I can kind of understand like a little bit about the fascination, or whatever, because this is a different dynamic.
This is different from Steve.
Right.
So, I mean, Jussie did all the right things. I'm going to take you out for your birthday. I'm going to, and I'm going to, she had surgery. Remember, he came down, made sure she was okay. But y'all stayed in a hotel room and not once did he touch you in 2 years? He didn't even touch her. Now, I'm not saying that intimacy has to involve the actual sexual encounter, but you have not rubbed my face. You have not touched my hair. You have not showed any type of affection towards me besides peace and love. We're going to stay in this hotel room. Yeah. You stay over there in that bed. I'm staying here in this bed. We're going to get a room with double beds and you sleep over there and I sleep over here. Listen, we are both adults here. And she wanted to further
the relationship.
And he would halt like,
wait a minute, didn't she
She actually told him, I love you. And he was like, I gotta go. Click. And then called her back, apologized to her, and just said, I just want to keep it at peace and love. And so when she told us that, here go me. Oh, no, ma'am. I am sorry. But old dude is gay. And he was using her as a friend. Now, don't get me wrong. As we stated, there's nothing wrong with, whoever somebody want to be with. But don't use somebody because he's a preacher's son. So
arm candy.
Yeah, he used her. I mean, she was a date for his brother's wedding. Like when it was family functions, he used her as a date. That was it. He actually friend zoned her, and she kept trying to further it, and he was just like, "No, that ain't it." And then all of a sudden, he just called up one day and just said, "You know what? I don't see this moving even further. Like I done got every use out of you that I needed. Oh, have a wonderful life. Goodbye." Click. And she was distraught, y'all. Distraught.
She was.
And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, hey, Shana, he gay. And she was like, I don't see it. This man ain't never touch you, ma'am. In 2 years, he has not showed her any type of affection, y'all. And listen, as I stated, sex is not everything, but you have to at least show some type of intimacy. Can you hug me? Rub my hair, rub my butt, something. But this is what I'm saying. Listen, I'm a whole grown woman. She's a whole grown woman. And you want some type of affection now. You can't be dating somebody for 2 years and you can't even touch me. You can't do nothing but peace and love. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye. That's it. 2 years, peace and love. And you know what? I don't see it going any further. Let's just break up. And she was distraught, y'all.
Oh.
She was distraught. So I just wanted to let y'all know, don't just put yourself on the back burner for somebody else. And if something don't feel right, it ain't right.
It ain't right, guys.
It's definitely not right. You have a right to actually be in a full-blown relationship and have it progress the way that it's supposed to progress. But if you're telling somebody you love them, y'all been together for 2 years and it really haven't progressed from peace and love, yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. But that is the story of Shana and Jussie.
Yes, guys. That is our story with Shana.
It is.
We want to thank you guys for joining us on Facebook and also on TikTok. Thank you, family. Thank you, Valley family.
We appreciate it. Whoop, whoop.
Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode.
If you would like some relationship advice, or if you have a dream that you would like us to interpret, go to truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, the word vibes.net.
And don't forget about the Valley giveaway, guys. The $100 Visa gift card that's starting from episode 5. Follow the Valley giveaway directions and go to our website, truevibes.net. Click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley and select Valley Giveaway. Well, guys, thank you again for joining us today, and join us next week for another exciting episode of Everyday Living in the Valley.
Living in the valley.
This has been a True Vibes Entertainment production. For more information on what's going on in the Valley and more, visit our website at truevibes.net. That's true as in TRU, the word vibes.net.